Jumping into the number 5 spot of the top 5 best Prime Day gaming monitor deals of 2024 is the Gigabyte M27Q-X, coming in at a typical price tag of $449.99, now on sale on Prime Day for $349.99. If you want to check out any of the 5 deals in this video, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. But let's talk about the Gigabyte M27Q-X. This comes in at a 27-inch screen size, has a resolution of 1440p, and is an IPS panel. This hits 240 Hz. We tested this at an SDR brightness of 380 nits and HDR at 511 nits, and that's full screen brightness. So if you want a super bright panel, put this thing in HDR. That's impressive, and you get 240 Hz on top of that. Not just that, but you actually get 92% of the DCI-P3 color gamut, and for the price, 240 Hz, you're still getting a beautiful panel, but also that kind of like esports level with 240 Hz. And me personally, I'm a big 240 Hz guy. It's hard to go back to 144, 160 Hz after you see 240. Not just that, but these IPS panels are awesome, having really, really low ghosting, just a hair away from crystal clear. For this price, you can't go wrong if you're in the market for a 240 Hz panel that still brings it with vibrancy and overall picture quality. One of my top recommendations, sale or no sale. But with that, let's move on to the number 4 spot, which is the Samsung Odyssey OLED G9. Typically priced at $1,599.99, now on sale under $1,000 for $979.99. If you're in the market for a super ultra wide, now's probably the time. This comes in at a whopping 49 inches with a 32:9 aspect ratio with a resolution of 5120 by 1440p. And that might sound crazy, but it's really basically just two 27-inch panels. They put them together and they curve it. So you're basically just getting a 1440p 27-inch panel, but two of them. And it's awesome. I've been using an OLED G9 as my daily, and I will say, gaming on this thing is freaking crazy. It is so cool. The OLED allows for an insane HDR gaming with true deep blacks and insane pixel response time for super crystal clear ghosting. Not only that, but you don't really make any concessions for it being like a stunning monitor because it still is 240 Hz. In HDR, it's absolutely bright enough to look very vibrant, which LG just can't say. Seriously, there's a lot of LG OLEDs on sale this Prime Day. They're still not worth it even on sale. Samsung and Alienware, which is using Samsung's OLED panels, are far better at this point, and they're cheaper. Sale or no sale. But the color gamut on this G9 OLED is crazy, covering 99% of the DCI-P3 color gamut. That's thanks to that quantum dot layer inside of that OLED. This makes HDR look absolutely amazing. Mix that with the super deep blacks and you have a true HDR experience. I left my G9 in HDR 90% of the time. It's also tuned well enough that you can actually use HDR on the desktop very well. If you're looking for a super ultra wide and you want the OLED, well, this is a great time to get it under $1,000. But with that, let's move on to the number 3 spot, which is the Alienware AW3423DW QD-OLED, coming in at a price tag typically of $1,099.99, now on sale for $853.99. This is one of my favorite monitors of all time. And again, in OLED, there's a lot of good OLED sales this Prime Day. This comes in at a 35-inch ultra-wide aspect ratio with a 1440p resolution, but it's ultra-wideified, but it's still 1440p. Now this uses the 2nd gen quantum dot OLED technology. This hits 175 Hz, has G-Sync Ultimate, great brightness, especially in HDR, and covers 99.3% of the DCI-P3 color gamut. This monitor is stunning. Just like the G9 OLED, it is absolutely beautiful. The colors pop in HDR. Brightness is still very good, which LG can't say. I mean, genuinely one of my favorite monitors of all time. Ghosting here is also perfect because, well, it's in OLED, so it's crystal clear. At under $900, this thing is worth every penny. But with that, let's move on to the number 2 spot. If you don't have as much money, but you still want a phenomenal monitor, well, the Acer Predator XB273K V3 is on a crazy sale, and it was already well priced, typically priced at $449.99. Now guys, on sale for $299.99. Now I just reviewed this monitor and it's the lowest priced monitor in this category that is dang good. It's better than other monitors priced more than it, but now for literally $299.99, crazy. All right, so it's a 27-inch panel, has a 4K resolution, is an IPS panel, hits 160 Hz, has FreeSync Premium, and works perfectly with G-Sync. Not only that, but if you have a console, you're good to go because this has HDMI 2.1 and is fully compatible with the Xbox Series X, Series S, and PS5 with everything. That means 4K, 120 Hz, variable refresh rate, and HDR all at the same time. That's freaking impressive, especially for $299.99. Brightness here is also great, hitting 415 nits in SDR, so the colors and vibrancy of the panel is still great. It's a very pretty panel. Not like an OLED, but for an IPS panel, very pretty. This still covers 95% of the DCI-P3 color gamut, and the fact that I'm saying 4K, high refresh rate, and 95% of the DCI-P3 color gamut, and we're talking about $300 here is kind of insane. This monitor has no right being this pretty at this price. Ghosting here is also awesome, being a hair off from crystal clear, so low that 98% of you will not even notice the smallest amount of ghosting. It's that good. This is an awesome deal if you're in the market for a 4K gaming monitor that feels anything but budget, but is also super nice to your wallet this Prime Day. It was already a great price, but now it is excellent. With that, let's move on to the #1 best Prime Day gaming monitor deal. This is again from Alienware. This is the Alienware AW2725DF QD-OLED. Yes, there's a lot of QD-OLEDs going on sale this Prime Day. Typically priced at $899.99, which is already a very competitive price. Now on sale for $749.99. This brings it with the specs and the beauty. Coming in at a 26.7-inch screen size, so basically 27 inches, 1440p, and that quantum dot OLED. But not just that, this thing hits 360 Hz. Now compared to the competition, anywhere near this price point, they're doing 240. This thing, 360, and it's a much better technology than anyone else. You mix the whopping 360 Hz with the QD-OLED, and that equals a beautiful monitor that is esports ready, which is just freaking awesome. This also features FreeSync Premium Pro, so HDR and variable refresh rate together, and it works perfectly with G-Sync. You're making no concessions here. But if you thought it wasn't gonna be pretty, you were wrong. This covers 99.3% of the DCI-P3 color gamut, which means in HDR, and it's tuned very well. This thing looks freaking beautiful. So you can do esports grade speed with 360 Hz, basically no ghosting because it's an OLED, and then you get 99.3% of the DCI-P3 color gamut. It's beautiful. You can edit on it, professional video, photos. Yeah, this thing is freaking sweet, especially on sale. Again, if you want to check out any of the 5 gaming monitor deals, there's Amazon links below for the US, UK, Canada, and international links. A lot of QD-OLEDs, but they are the best out of everything right now. I would definitely urge away from the LG OLED deals this Prime Day because the Samsung base panels, which are all the Alienware panels and Samsung panels, are just a better technology. They're brighter, they have a glossy finish, whereas the LGs have a matte finish, which just totally ruins the visuals that the OLEDs give you. I highly recommend, rather than going LG, go either Samsung or Alienware this Prime Day. This was Type C Tech Reviews, and I'll see you guys in the next video.